Hey, oh, I'm so excited that we're here. Okay, in this mini module, I am going to give you 10 tips. So 10 activities, 10 things that you can do that it's going to help you feel like you have superpowers. Basically, they are going to help you feel more confident. It's going to help you build your self-esteem, which is really important. When we feel confident, then we feel more positive and we feel more encouraged to do the things that we love and anything that we want to set our minds to it. Either it's a school exam, either it's a new hobby, or it's a new skill that we want to learn. So I have 10 for you. All right, are you ready to start? All right, so let me see if my slides are working. And let me see if I can move to my next slide. Yes. All right, so let me make my bubble a little smaller so that you guys can see my slide. Hold on, can I make my bubble smaller? Yes, I can. Magic, I'm small. All right, the first thing is I want you to spend time doing activities that you love. When you spend your time doing things that you truly love, you are self-nourishing your brain, your mind, your emotions, your body. When we are doing the things that we love, we can really understand more about ourselves, about the things that we love doing, about our capabilities, about our skill set, how our brain works. So it's very important that we spend time doing things that we love, because that way we keep building up our skills and our strength in areas that we can really thrive, right? So it's important that we spend time doing things that we love. Ultimately also because when we do things that we enjoy, we feel happier. And when we are happy, we are more positive. Remember, when we are positive and happy, everything around us also reflects that energy and has that energy, right? So when we do things that we love, that makes us smile, that makes us happy, we become much sort of like filled with this positivity, which really is energy, and it's a mental state, and it can carry through in many other areas of your life and the things that you are doing. So stay very focused on doing things that you love to build up those skills even more, to learn more about yourself, but ultimately so that you are happy. When we are happy, we have positive energy. And when we have positive energy, we feel super confident. So that's number one. Okay, number two. Oh, my slides. Oh, okay, look at things with optimism. So when something bad happens, or maybe you didn't have that grade at school that you loved so much, or maybe something happened with your brother and your sister and it got you upset, look at things with an optimism. Meaning there's always an upside to things. You know that saying, the glass is always full? If you keep looking at life in that way, life is even going to be so much easier, because you are always going to try and find solutions. You are always going to look at the upside. It also means that you are going to always be practicing being grateful, right? Yes, sometimes lots of bad things can happen or shitty things can happen, but if we take a step back and look at things from a bigger picture, and we feel more grateful and gratitude for the things that we have, we can have a better outlook on life. So whenever something happens to you that maybe it's not the best thing, just try to look at it with optimism and make it practical optimism. So what can we do now? What would be the solutions? What would be some of the plan A, plan B, plan C, right? So that you are always moving forward. When you look at things with optimism, it's also going to help you move forward more, instead of staying in the same situation, sulking, just kind of like, oh, why did this happen to me? Kind of like, self-victimizing and sulking and being negative. That is going to put you in a negative place. Rather than looking at things in a positive light with optimism, it's going to set your mind to troubleshoot on, what can I do to make things better now? What would be the things that we could think of now to solve this situation, right? Or is it really that bad? It's just maybe something small. Tomorrow you'll be over it, right? So look at things with optimism. It's going to help you deal with things better and move forward, okay? Number three, okay, It's okay to mess up, not a failure, but a chance to learn. Whenever you might have messed up, whenever that maybe you've made a mistake, maybe you said something bad to somebody, to a friend, or you had a bad grade at school, it's okay to mess up. You are going to learn from it. We really learn a lot from our mistakes, and we really learn a lot when we mess up, because we can take a step back, we can reflect, we can look at things, and we can be like, okay, so I shouldn't have said that to my sister. That was really, not a good thing to say to her. I need to learn that if I ever get into an argument, or if I'm feeling upset and angry, that maybe I need to take some time before I say something. You can always look at any situation where you might have messed up, and you can always learn from it. So when you mess up, don't beat yourself up. No, we don't want to do that. Instead of beating yourself up, think about it from a way of, I've messed up. Okay, so have the humility to accept that you've messed up, apologize if you have to mess up, and then learn from it. What's the lesson that you take from this? Write it down, note it down, so that if it happens again, you will know how to handle it in a much better way. Number 4, feed your curiosity, ask questions, explore. Okay. It is really important for you to be curious, especially if you are a young entrepreneur. Curiosity is amazing. It's what's going to get your brain and your head really kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to be on your toes, right? When we are curious, we are always wanting to know more. We are always wanting to learn. We are always wanting to explore. And when we feed this curiosity, it's really great, because it means that you are always evolving, and evolving means growth, and we want to evolve and we want to keep growing. So make sure that if you are curious, keep feeding that curiosity. I remember when I was little, I used to love dinosaurs. So I would get so many books and I would read more about it, and then I started learning about anthropology. So make sure that you keep feeding it. Either it is doing an online class like you are doing here, or you're going to learn more, you're going to get a book, you're going to watch a documentary. But keep feeding that curiosity. When you feel that you are into something, note that down in your head, and then keep digging it deeper so that you keep learning more about it, okay? Never be afraid to also ask questions, either to parents, your friends, your teachers, or it's an expert. Just ask. Never be afraid to ask a question. No question is stupid. The more you ask, it just shows that you want to learn and you want to grow, so that's amazing. All right, number 5, trying new things, lots of new things. This is so important, because it's also going to get you out of that comfort zone, right? You do want to get out of the comfort zone, right? When we stay always doing the same things, it's great because we are developing and nourishing those skills, but you do want to try new things. You want to challenge yourself. Like, for example, I've always wanted to go horse riding, and so I finally booked my first horse riding class. I am so excited for it, right? So make sure that you are experimenting with new things. Either it's a new skill, it's a new class, it's a new hobby. It's really important. The more you experiment, the more you also can see if you have new skills and new things that you never knew that you had, right? So how can we keep growing and evolving when we are exploring, when we are trying new things, so that we can see that, oh my God, look, maybe I love horse riding and this is like a new hobby that I want. Okay, next one, my slides. Okay, here we go. Oh, my slides are not moving. 1 second. Here we go, 6. Pay attention to things you're good at. Okay, so now that you're doing like all these things, do pay attention to the things that you do love and that you are good at. Okay, very big difference between I love that and I'm good at that. I love making pancakes, but I'll never be like a foodie pancake expert, right? If you are good at something and you see that your skills are really developing and you're thriving on it, pay attention to that, because those are very important signals that can let you know that maybe this is an area that you want to keep going more, right? And also it's going to really help you really get that confidence and boosting even more, because now you know that you're getting good at this, right? So just pay attention. Don't just let it kind of like, oh, it's just another thing I'm good at. Number 7, be open to learn different ways of doing things. This is also really going to help you with your self-confidence and your self-esteem. because when you learn to do things in other ways in different formats, it's going to mean that you are going to train this flexibility muscle that we have in our brains, being agile, the ability to pivot, the ability to be flexible, right? So we get out of that comfort zone. It's really important, and it's going to get you to feel more confident when you are having to adapt in certain situations and change in certain situations. So that is very good. Number 8, create a journal, write down your goals, places you want to go, things you enjoy doing. This is very important. Journaling can really help a lot of us, because when we are journaling, we are writing things down, we are thinking about them, and it makes them even more real than just having them all in our heads, right? So make sure that you are taking time to think about maybe what are your goals for the next month, or even if it's just for this week, right? You don't have to think that far advanced, but writing it down, thinking about it, and having it in a paper where you can see them can really help you feel more confident about them, feel that you have more of a stronger grasp into these things rather than just keeping them flowing around in your head, okay? Number 9, what are your favorite colors? This is one of my favorites that really helps me feel so confident. Like right now I've got yellow hair because it's summertime, and it's definitely making me feel more happier, more joyful, and enjoying the summer and the hot weather. So make sure that you do wear your favorite colors. They really are going to help you feel more happier, more confident. You'll probably find yourself definitely even maybe smiling more, and you'll just feel overall more brighter. It does seem like this is fluff things, but it's really not. A lot of the things of colors and clothes that we choose definitely have a huge impact in our mood, in how we feel, and ultimately really in our self-confidence, So make sure that you do pick clothes that do have colors that make you feel that you can really get out there and kind of be your best self. It's really important. Oh, skipped. Okay, where's number 10? Oh my God, I'm skipping my slides. Hold on. No, doesn't want to give me number 10. Oh my God, 1 second. All right, no, okay, we got number 10. 1 second. Okay, I got my number 10. I'm back. My number 10 is don't focus too much on the outcome, but on the journey to get there. Okay, sometimes we get so excited about the final destination. And yes, it's important, right? The final destination is maybe our goal, our dream, the objective of something that we're working towards. But what happens is, to get to that final destination, there's a whole journey, there's a whole process that we have to go through. And most of the times, that is really the majority of your time is going to be spent on the journey, on the process to get to your final outcome. So imagine this, if you don't enjoy this process, the journey, and you are miserable during that time, what does it really matter when you get to that final objective? Because the time and the process that you've had with it was really miserable. So I want you to start learning that the process and the journey to get to your goals is ultimately one of the most important things. Because if the journey to get to your goal makes you miserable and sad and negative, it's not worth it to get to where you want to. Remember, you want to get to where you want to in a way that makes you happy, because that's the majority of the time that you're going to be spending. So don't focus too much on that outcome, but rather the journey that you're going to do to get there. The journey that you're going to do to get there, the process that you're going to have, needs to be positive, needs to fulfill you, needs to make you happy. Yes, it's going to be maybe a little hard. Yes, there's going to be bumps along the road, but because the process is one that you enjoy, when you hit those bumps and those roadblocks, it's okay because you're loving that process. It's almost like sometimes when we take a road trip and we go into a detour, or maybe, we take, the beaten path, as they say, it's almost so worth it because it was so cool to see all of those things to get to that final destination. So when you really want something, when you do have a goal, please, please, please bear in mind that you want to look at your journey, you want to look at your process and making sure that, hey, is this making me happy the way that I'm going about it so that I get to my final end objective? It is so important. And it's going to make you feel so much more confident, so much more happy, and so much more positive, because you are enjoying your everyday, right? Your everyday activity and process to get there. So there you go. These are my 10 tips for you to really practice being more optimistic, having more positivity, but really so that you feel confident and you have that self-esteem to really get out there and do all the things that you want. We have to feel confident inside, physically, mentally, in our hearts and in our minds, so that we can get up every day and have that confidence to go after all the things that we want. You know, confidence and self-esteem is very important, because there are days that maybe we don't feel so happy and we're a little bit more down. But if we've been practicing that self-esteem, even on those days that are just a little bit more low on energy, you know that you got this and you know that you can do it. Okay, so I really hope that you enjoyed this little mini segment. Write to me, email me, send me an Instagram DM, and let me know from 1 to 10 what are the ones that you definitely enjoy the most and that you think you're definitely going to practice. Also, you can download the slide and you can print it out, put it on your room or on your, on your desk, so that you can keep a reminder of all the things that you can do. All right, I'm going to see you on the next segment.